Hi, this is Amir Nzur. I'm standing here with Tony Buzan, who is known as the mind map guru. And if you are in school, or actually if you're an entrepreneur and you don't know what mind maps are, I really suggest you look into them. We're going to ask Tony. Tony, thanks for being on. Tony, what exactly is a mind map and why should people look into this?
A mind map is a picture outside your brain of the way your brain thinks inside. We've all been trained, no matter what country we're in, to write linear notes in one color, which is not the way the brain thinks. Your brain thinks in images and associations, and a mind map is a reflection of that. It's the way to think. It helps you create, it helps you remember, it helps you learn, it helps you study, it helps you solve problems, it helps you think in the way your brain was designed to think, and the way your brain was designed to think is a really good way.
And what's wrong with the education system as it is, especially as you were discussing about it being in the industrial age? So how is traditional education happening, and how can mind maps help parents and kids?
Traditional education as we know it now started in the industrial military age, where students were basically being trained to work in factories, work on farms, work in the military, where they had to obey orders, they had to learn the stuff by rote. Because when you were charging over a hill in a war, you couldn't all say, well, hold on a minute, we'd just like to chat that, talk about it and see what we think. They had to obey. But obviously, as we are now in the age of intelligence, we have to think. So the note-taking systems that were, if you like, useful for the industrial age are really not appropriate for the intelligence and the knowledge ages. And I have a little saying, so to speak, which is that linear note-taking, the traditional note-taking, was to the industrial age what mind mapping is to the 21st century and the age of intelligence. We've got to learn to use our brains. We've got them. Why not use them?
Great stuff. And where can people find out more information about mind maps? They want to get started. What's the easiest way, or your books?
Yeah, the easiest way to find out about mind mapping and me and so on is to go to my website, which is www.thinkbuzan.com. That's all one word, thinkbuzan.com. And on there you can download the iMindMap software, which is new software to help you mind map, and it's free, so go check that. You can find out all about my books, you can find out about the brain and the whole range of networking opportunities. You can go to my Twitter, you can go to my Facebook, you can go to Google and Google mind maps, and you'll find over 100 million results. Check me out.
How did you actually, what was the big thing that spark that got you into this?
The spark that got me in was having a friend in school who I knew was brilliant. He could identify the flight patterns of birds and butterflies and so on. But the school was saying he was stupid. And I was saying, hold on, I know he's brilliant, so do all his friends. And the school saying he's stupid. So I began to question, who says who's smart? Who has the right to say who's not smart? And what is smart anyway? So I investigated smart, I investigated my own note-taking methods. I found that they just didn't work. These long pages of boring notes, I didn't like them. And so I began to add a bit of color, I put in a couple of codes, images, arrows. And as I began to investigate the way my note-taking and thinking worked, it was as if I'd been driving all my life with a windscreen that was covered in mud and sand. And suddenly, the windshield wipers had cleaned it, and I could see clearly. And the mind map allowed me to do that. That's how it all began.
And for those that have never seen a mind map, this is an example of one, right? So
yes, and this is a mind map, not done by me. It's done on the computer.
Yeah.
And it's a mind map done by a student of mine, summarizing the course that I'm actually teaching at this moment.
Oh, perfect. So you can get the whole...
You can get an entire day's course on one mind map. And this is it.
Great stuff, Tony. So Think Buzan is where people can find out more information.
Thinkbuzan.com.
Thinkbuzan.com, and essential in new age of education and anyone looking to get into the new era. Thanks a lot, Tony, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.